Now, today we're going to talk about preserving your individuality in a relationship. We all have friends who lose themselves when they're in a relationship. A very good friend of ours, Doji, was in a relationship and he just couldn't be himself. He was sleeping all the time. He couldn't be his bubbly self again. We're wondering what exactly is going on. I'm sure you have friends like that as well who you don't recognize anymore because of the relationships they're in. So throughout our conversation, if you have any questions, let us know. The hashtag is Breakfast Daily and the WhatsApp line is 0550585832. If you're outside Ghana, the country code is +233. I have been joined by Mrs. Marie-Rose Sackey. She's an entrepreneur and a counselor. Good morning.
Good morning.
I love your hair.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
How's your week been?
Well, not too bad. Too many unexpected things, but we're trying to keep our heads up. Yeah.
Good.
How about you?
I'm okay. I'm happy it's Friday. Even though it literally just means I'm going to sleep. I'm not doing anything fun. But preserving our individuality, where do we even start from with this conversation?
Yeah. Where do we start from? That's the big question. But I think many times we misinterpret being in a relationship as losing ourselves or as becoming somebody else that we are not. You know. And if we understand our individuality or accept who we are and go into a relationship, I think it will help us go a long way. But many times we have this ideology about relationship, mainly about romance. That's our focus. We don't think about focusing on all the other things. Maybe if any other thing we'll consider it will be finance. But we don't think about who we are. What are we going in there for? You know, is it going to change us? Is it going to make us we? And because Bible says that when the two marry, they become one, we misinterpret it. And all these things go to show us when people marry. You see how when people marry, from then they sew same clothes. You see the man in a shirt and then the lady in the same fabric as the shirt. And if they have kids, then
the kids will be mini.
That tells you the interpretation of being one. But when you marry, you don't lose yourself.
But where do you
don't lose yourself because you are two individuals. That's the beginning of the whole thing. In a relationship, even whether you're married or not married, you are two individuals. You come from a different background. You have been raised. Everybody is a product of his past. That's you. You are a product of your past. Where you've come from, who your parents are, who your siblings are, your faith, your culture. All those things define who you are. That's the product you are. It is where you've come from that determines who you become. I have also come from another background. I have a different ideologies. I have a different parents and all that. So if you are going into a relationship with such diverse background and you think that as soon as you enter the relationship, you become one, you know, as someone would say, oneness is not the same as sameness. You know, oneness is not the same as sameness.
But so let's say you're in a relationship and one person, for instance, I like to wear dresses, but then my partner says, I think you would look better if you wear you wear trousers, you dress a bit more conservatively. I think it's better if you don't go out on Friday nights, you stay at home, we Netflix and chill. In a couple of months to come, you don't even recognize yourself anymore because all the things you used to do, you're not doing them anymore. Not necessarily that it is bad, but you've tried to tailor certain things about yourself to a point where you are your partner's ideal girl, but not your own ideal person.
Yes, that's another point I was going to get into. That having that understanding that you are two individuals, you come together. You don't lose that. You have to learn 3 things I would mention. There's so many things. There's so many points I can talk about, but the time is short. But 3 most important things I'll talk about is, number 1, respecting your partner's individuality, their uniqueness. what makes them other. You are another person. I am another person. I have to respect that which you're bringing on the table and what I am bringing. That we put it together, harness it, and make it one. Make it good. Make it serve the two of us, and of course to the external community of society. So you don't. Many times we are marrying people, and we are marrying an ideal in our minds.
Yeah.
We are not marrying that person per se. Maybe a little bit of that person, but we have a certain picture. That is the reason why we want to change the person to that picture in our mind, and it brings a lot of conflict, you know. So you don't go into a relationship thinking that, oh, she's this, I'm going to change her, or I'm going to let her be like that. Why would you? Yes, once in a while you can wear what you know takes him, but you shouldn't change yourself that every time because he wants you to wear trousers, every time you be wearing trousers. No, then it means you are losing yourself, like you said.
But if you don't do it, so it comes across as if you're stuck in your ways. It's supposed to be us, not two individuals. You're not listening. How do you deal with that?
So I talked about respect. Giving respect, you know, or respecting who that person is. Prizing the person, you know, prize, Prise or Sing, prizing, to prize the person. You don't just respect somebody by saying, oh, please, oh, thank you. No, that's not the only. Sometimes, many times in our culture, we think when we say please and thank you, then we are respecting somebody. But respecting somebody is accepting the person the way he is, you know. Non-judgmental acceptance, that's another one. Non-judgmental acceptance. So I like wearing my clothes. I like wearing my skirts. I like wearing my dresses. I don't like wearing trousers, because when I wear trousers in this heat, I feel that it's pinching my skin. I don't feel comfortable. But once in a while, I can do that when the two of us, we are going somewhere, and, you know, I want you to feel that thing. But when I'm on my own, I'm going to work. I don't have to, you're not going to work for your husband, or you're not going to work for your boyfriend, or whatever. You're going to work on your own. Or even the work you're doing, maybe it doesn't call that you wear trousers. How are you going to wear trousers? So you can wear trousers when the two of you are going out to have fun. The days that, you know, you want to get into your own mood, maybe your partner likes halter necks and, you know, show some skin. Yes, you can do that when the two of you are going to have some fun somewhere. But you don't do that every day, because even when you do it and he's not there, how does he appreciate it? He doesn't see it. Yeah. So these are the things that we do, and you have to accept that, yes, my wife or my husband loves his thing like that. He doesn't like wearing striped shirts. He doesn't like check or plaits, you know, trousers. Some people, they like plaits. Others don't like it. So you have to know what the person likes, what the person doesn't like. And if this is what I like, you have to respect me for it. You don't push what you want. But, you know, when you get into marriage, with time, you see certain things will naturally, that's where the mind starts meeting. Naturally, things will find its level. You see, I have a sister-in-law, she always tells me, she calls me and she says, hey, if you can't beat them, you join them. You know, because when you're in a relationship or you're in a marriage, and sometimes you are trying to work things that's not working, Charlie, join them, join the bandwagon, and make yourself happy.
Yeah.
Because the thing that you're doing that's bringing tension to the house is not helping. Just respect who the person is. I respect you for your intelligence. I respect you for all that you stand for. You know, I mean, you have your curves, whatever. I respect you for that. People might talk about it, whatever. That doesn't mean you should wear a sack.
Yeah.
Whether you are wearing a sack or you are wearing a barrel, it won't change who you are. It won't change how God has created you. I have to accept you the way you are and work with you, you know. And like I said, it has to be non-judgmental.
Yeah.
You know, some people are very judgmental. Oh, I don't like the way, when you present yourself like this, or when you dress like this, people think that you are that. And based on that, or my family thinks that, oh, you know, a lot of people have had problems with in relationships because the perception of the extended family has influenced the partner.
And that was my next question for you.
Yeah.
What do you say of relationships where the guy will go out of his way to be with a very outspoken woman, and then maybe his friends and family members will be like, hey, this is your girlfriend or this is your wife, she's too outspoken. So gradually it's like don't talk about this, don't talk about that, to a point where she's just there, but she's not saying anything because you are trying to box her into something that she's not. Or you meet a guy, he's an introvert, and you are insisting, let's go out, let's do this, you the DBI, you want to stay home. How do you respect that? This is their form of fun. They want to be home on a Friday night. There's nothing wrong with that. Let me respect that. Or I met her, she was outspoken. She can't come into the home and be mute just because that's what I want.
That is where we're going to say that when you are married, it's the two of you marrying. Even Bible says that a man and a woman will cleave together. They will leave their mother and father. There must be a leaving. It is not a family. As much as you would want to be able to flow along with the family, it's the family that do not dictate the behavior or cognitions of their relationships. No. It is the two of you. It boils down to the two of you. Because in the long run, you will see that it is the two of you. If you stay together for a long time, you will know that it's the two of you. It is not the family. The family's perception could be wrong because they don't walk close to you. They will sit back and say, let me give this example of somebody I knew who was telling me that when she met her husband, those days they would say, oh, she's a high timer. She used to smoke, those back in the day. She used to smoke and, she's well figured and she knows how to, flaunt all the cares and the way she will walk and wear all these tight things with her. And the man's parent, her mother especially, because the father had passed, the man's mother, and this is a son who was dearly loved by the mother.
The mama's boy.
Yes. And the mother was not into it at all. So she kept discouraging this thing, discouraging their relationship. Eventually, they managed to succeed at a point because the family pushed, and then sidelined the other one and got another woman. It didn't work.
Wow.
They got another woman. It didn't work. They got a third woman. It did not work. As I speak, that first woman is the one who is with the man.
Wow.
Where is the mother of the man? He's not there.
Yeah.
It is this woman who is playing that motherly role, sisterly role, wife role, everything to this man now. So you cannot push it. You have to look at the basics. The major important ingredient you look at is the person loving my son or my daughter unconditionally. That's another point. Mm-hmm. Loving the person unconditionally, whether she is whatever, like in our I can't add it. Sometimes they say that, oh, every osuban pa. Even though upper life no osuban or if you there are certain things that you look at that you would. But if the person has his own list and then he has been able to check, and then he knows that this is the woman for me, it is not. Let him be.
So I think next week we should talk about that, respecting the individuality and appreciating what they bring to the table as opposed to finding the faults in them.
And not only that, but not only your partner respect you yourself, you have to respect who you are.
Yeah.
And
hi there. We hope you enjoyed the show.
Make sure to subscribe, like, comment, and share with your friends.
This is Breakfast Daily on Citi TV.
Join the Breakfast Daily team Monday through Fridays from 7:30 a.m. to 10. Join us for breakfast daily, only on Citi TV.